What's up, you guys? This is Jay Young2 back with another video. And in this video today, of course, if you saw the title, then you see I'm discussing the Portland Trail Blazers and their current situation that is going on right now for them. And at this point, it seems like talking about the Blazers is just like the new norm. It's like an every year thing for this team. It's in something that is constantly in the talks. It's every single year. It's basically standing around the same topic. But the main difference, of course, this year is, of course, that their GM got fired. They're violating the team's code of conduct in the workplace. But not only that, of course, what has happened this season for the Blazers, of course, they have a new head coach. They have Chauncey Billups, a former NBA player, a former All-Star, a former NBA champion himself in this first season ever coaching. And the Blazers thought obviously that they needed do new presence, especially on the defensive end of the basketball court, because as you know that this team on the defensive end of the basketball court over the past few years, they have not really been one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. But looking at them now, they are the worst team this season in the NBA on the defensive end of the basketball court. They have the 30th ranked defensive rating. And right now, they are a 10th seed in the Western Conference. And, the Blazers may go on another run like how they always do at the end of every season and make the playoffs and surprise everyone with that. But they are probably 9 times out of 10 going to get eliminated in, the first round. And this talk, man, I've been constantly talking about this now for, I feel like, a while on my channel. But, at this point, man, get Damian Lillard out of Portland. You're wasting, really, Portland there, just move on from literally everybody on this team. This team isn't really built to win an NBA championship, and they've tried already for years and years and years. And this team, they really care a lot about stability and having, a team that is constantly contending. But what's something that they got to realize is that this team, they can save so much more time by trading some of their best players right now to get assets for their future and build an actual contender maybe one day again. They already have some good places on that team. Anthony Simons, Nazir Little is obviously still in his development. They have really good players overall on this team. Of course, they have Dennis Smith Jr. as well, but Dennis Smith Jr. fell off like a few years ago really hard. I'm not going to speak on that anymore. But when I look at this team overall, even when you look at all the players on this roster and you see why they're ranked, one of the worst defensive teams in the entire NBA, because they have 3 guys who I would say are really good defenders. Larry Nance Jr. isn't really a bad defender. He's pretty decent. Robert Covington is known and regarded as, a really great perimeter defender in the entire NBA. And Nazir Little is obviously still in the growth and development, but he's shown glimpses of what he can possibly become one day as well on the defensive end of the basketball court. And, when you look at Damian Lillard this season, though, in general as well, he hasn't really been a guy who's been playing up to his level of expectation. He hasn't really been playing well this season. Only averaging 21 points a game. He's shooting around 39% from the field compared to, his career average, which is 43.7, which isn't that far off. But when we look at seasons prior, his field goal percentage is 45%, 46.3%. They're a lot higher now, then compared to what it is now this season. Luckily, he is averaging around 8 assists a game, which is a really bright spot. But other than that, he hasn't really been Damian Lillard on the offensive end, really, of the basketball court. And when I look at his 3-point percentage, it is also at 30% from the field, and that is a career low as well. So looking at Damian Lillard and his whole situation right now with this Blazers team, he's been struggling this season to really adjust to this new system that Chauncey Billups has been playing and running for this team compared to when he was with Terry Stotts. And when I look at Damian Lillard as well, you can also take into account that this man played in the Olympics as well, and he's coming again to this season basically, and he also came from the playoffs as well. And you got to think about that season prior. This man hasn't really had any time to really rest, and you can tell that he isn't really playing to his own level that he wants to play at. And of course, you still got CJ with him, and you have Norman Powell, but really those are their best players right there on the team. And, when you look at this team in general, there's no reason why they're the worst defensive team in the NBA. It's simply because they don't really have any guys who are really top-notch defenders on this team. Like I said earlier, it was only 3 main guys. And when I look at this Blazers team right now and the direction that they're going, they're not going to be heading into a right direction with this team. It is time now to really just face reality and really actually accept that this team is a bust at this point. And it's time to really move on from this chapter of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, because these guys aren't going to win an NBA championship. Even if they do make it to the playoffs, they're going to get eliminated in the first round. And I mean, it's like this team is very predictable at this point, and there's not really much that I can really tell you about that, because I mean, it's shown over these last years of Damian Lillard and CJ running it back year after year after year, making some adjustments here and there with different players, but they never really had one season where you could say, oh wow, Portland really legit has an actual chance. And sadly for Damian Lillard, you know, and this Blazers team, you know, he's been a loyal guy to this franchise, but I believe, you know, if he really obviously wants to be remembered for his career that's already going to be in the Hall of Fame, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's not even a question. It's time for him to really move on and actually get a trade. I think that this team, like I said before, and I will say it again, they're not really built and ready to compete for an NBA championship, or even maybe be in the playoff picture this season with the way things are going right now. But you know, obviously there's still a long season ahead of us, and there's still a lot of games to play, so we will see what happens. But overall, this is all I have to say right now about the Blazers team, because I've talked about this video now, it seems like for the third straight year now, about this team. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos each and every single week. Have a good day. Peace.